Today we're here in the UCD O'Brien Centre for Science, our new state-of-the-art facility for training scientists in research and innovation. Today's event is about how do we innovate in policy and how do we transfer that knowledge through to policymakers and work with civil servants and politicians to make better policy that benefits the economy and benefits society.
My name is Andrew Kelly. I'm director and co-founder of Enbicon, which is an economic and environmental research outfit spun out from University College Dublin. In terms of lessons for the young graduates, I said it was very important that they find a good team to work with in terms of having a really engaged supervisor makes a big difference. Also that they need to be very sure that when they do their work that it finds its place in the policy setup. So if you do research and just file your thesis in the library or publish a paper, it's not quite enough. That's a lot like throwing a message into a bottle and throwing it into the ocean. You don't know exactly who's going to open it or when, and that's a problem. So I said if you want to make a difference, make sure you deliver the work to the right people at the right time.
My name is Ferdil King. I'm an economics graduate from UCD where I did an undergrad and master's in economics and a PhD in transportation planning. I now work for TransLink, who are in Vancouver in British Columbia in Canada, and I work there as a senior transportation planner and economist. Key messages for policy implementation are essentially to follow the rules of what your components of your PhD are and apply them in practice, but also take into account that there are other political pressures working in a policy environment that aren't necessarily considered at university level as well. So a lot of politics, a lot of getting stakeholders involved and having a very good communication strategy as well.
My name is Simon McDonald. I am working in City University of New York and I graduated with a PhD in Planning and Environmental Policy. Environmental policy making innovation means moving the idea of the environment and sustainability to the centre of decision making and policy making. My time in UCD gave me tremendous skills for the type of policy work that I do in New York. It gave me the framework to talk to policymakers and to inquire into interesting questions. If I was to give advice to any students in the room today, I would say your work has to be policy relevant, it has to be interesting to stakeholders, and it has to be available to a broad audience.
My name is Lisa Ryan. I'm a graduate of UCD in chemical engineering. I'm also a graduate of UCD in economics and another department for environmental economics where I did my PhD. I work as a consultant for the International Energy Agency and the World Bank on energy efficiency policy. Today I was part of the Policy Innovation Workshop. I was talking about how you can translate research, particularly evidence-based research, into policy innovation. I think some key messages are to get international experience, see what other countries are doing if you're trying to get good policy information. Policymakers in Ireland are always interested in hearing about good case studies abroad.
I'm Jonathan Healy, a senior economist in Forfos. My key message was to try and draw out the policy aspects of their research insofar as that's possible. I think there's a dearth of good quality policy research being conducted in the wider academic system. So I think the work that's going on here in UCD is very important. I suppose I also wanted to get across the message that policy is messy and difficult to implement, and that academics need to think about putting themselves in the position of a policy maker.
Evan McMahon is my name. I'm a senior economist in the Department of Communications, Energy and Natural Resources, and I studied in UCD in 2001 in the Environmental Institute. I thought it was very interesting. There's a lot of emphasis on multidisciplinary approaches to policy development, and I think it was just very strong on the kind of all the things you don't learn in graduate school, the kind of practical realities of implementing policy as opposed to the theory that you learn in college.
It really delved into attempting an interdisciplinary approach and was centering on the environmental economists, but reaching out to academics in various policy areas and trying to understand how to really affect the policy and political process.
I'm Neil Walker. I'm Head of Energy and Environment Policy in IBEC in Dublin. It was great to see what's been learned has been put to good use in other countries I'd like to see more of it being done here in Ireland.
I think what we really discovered today is those things that are not taught to you in graduate school. There are many insights that are very hard to ever understand written down in a book or on a piece of paper, and in many cases aren't. Innovation covers a lot more than science and technology. It also covers how do we create better policy so that better decisions are made by the government that help economy and society.